You did a really great, job by telling the kids what the target was going to be and having a problem on the board ready to solve together. And everybody was engaged right away. Lots of kids thought so quickly right away about what the answer was. So it's good that we remind them, and you did, that you want to have them show you how they got the answer, not just provide the answer. So that was good that you reminded the kids of that. Sometimes what I do when the kids mentally solve it and they shout it out, I'm like, okay, so you got 49. What'd you get, Wanwu? What'd you get? So a lot of them can say they got the answer. And I kind of write all those down, 49. Well, now let's prove it. So that might be a way to stop, well, so it doesn't spoil it that somebody has shouted it out, but now we're going to have to dig deeper. So, because you're always going to have those kids that shout the answer out. And you did a great job of keeping the mini lesson tight. I was really impressed, to be able to trim a lot of it down to a good refresher and then getting on to this is what we're going to do today. The kids had just about reached their limit of sitting on the carpet, but they were well engaged. You tackled one of the biggest things that any teacher should be tackling, and that's trying to differentiate the lessons so that we can reach the kids' readiness levels. And I appreciate all the effort you went in, time and effort you went into making these choice boards for the kids. They loved them. They didn't expect it, so it was new for them. But they're going to be looking forward to having these again, and I think even getting busy on them right away so that they can get to the end, and have that prize, whatever the prize is, or get to the exit ticket. So I wanted to ask you, what did you like about this?
So first thing I liked about it is because it's tricky. I like maths to be tricky, not just solving it, sometimes adding words or sometimes adding cards and make it a tricky so that they can think. So I gave them a choice that you can work together. But then I remembered that it is the first time. Some of them won't understand, like exit tickets means they have to come to me and get the exit ticket. So I understand those points. And what I think that it's a little bit challenging because it's the first time. Next time if I show them, it will be easy for them to understand. What I like also, the orange group, they understand the problem. They think that it is their level, so that I can see like they're engaged. And the green group, they're kind of lost. They are thinking what to do next, or what's going to happen, something like that.
They have substantially less confidence than the others, so they're always worried about making a mistake or not slowing down to think about how to solve something, right?
And the orange group, they were like very focused. They were doing their work. They were always coming, what's next, where's the cards, because I didn't show them where the cards are. Some people over there, they started already with the cards. So some things, because to create a lesson I need to be so prepared that I need to think about that I need to take the cards out also. I missed that point.
But that's okay, because you might well, I don't want to interrupt you.
No.
You carry on. I wanted to say something about the cards. To me, that wasn't a big deal at all. Okay.
And the other thing is, I forgot to see. This is the first time of creating this page because we are doing in different type of way. So I forgot to make the papers, like the answer papers. So I went there last moment, and then I found that as I should have given numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
So if I didn't give numbers, then they are, okay, Miss Mitra, which one I should do first? So I should have given, because they are second graders, I could have, and I should have given numbers, and they can then choose anything.
Sure. And then in this, if this was like a half a page, right? You could just put a little box here for them to put whatever number they asked to solve first.
So
Good.
so
Then it's easy for you to match it up as well.
so as this is also my first time, I forgot that there should be a paper like this ready for them. So that I think I forgot one more
Yep.
thing that
Yep.
time. Yeah. So yeah, otherwise I like the way, because I want to help the students of the green group, because that's why we are for, and they should ask us more and more questions if they need.
So this is a stretch for them.
Stretch for them.
And some of the things that we were thinking right away were that maybe there's a little too much language here.
Right.
And there's not an obvious 2 or 3 problems to tackle first to start to build that confidence and achieving some of these. So we'd want to be sure we had some easy ones, but that are still good practice.
Right, exactly. So the main objective is they need to think out of the box. So they cannot think about only the same way. Maybe they should think out of the box, use mathematical language. They should see math can be written in words also.
Yep.
It's not numbers, it's not only like.
Now, some of these, excuse me, I think in the module it's really just up to 200 right now. So maybe some of these, like the 327 and 600, maybe we could have made those, since they're words as well, maybe just 2-digit numbers,
Of
so they're
course.
reading 65 and
Right,
something
right.
like that.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
and then also it might be more like interesting if you put some of the kids' names
Of course.
that were here in the
Right,
green group, because then they'll get excited
Right,
too. The orange group, they're not going to be bothered with it. Doesn't matter to them.
no.
They're into the math, right?
Right.
These guys need lots of like candy.
Candies. I have that idea. That's why I started with Miss Spreads. But yes, I have that in mind.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that more with this group.
Okay.
Or with any group, like giving the class people names.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's great. That's really good. And then some of those hints that you gave, which are like, solve vertically. So they're reading something, and then, maybe even say, this problem is written horizontally. Can you solve it vertically?
Right.
As I think a lot of them just wrote that down as is, forgetting what vertical is. It's a new word for them. Anytime you can give them a hint without making it too wordy is going to be great. I noticed the kids liked this problem about beads on a necklace right away. I noticed that they liked this problem here because it looked accessible. It was very accessible. This one, a couple of them tackled because they knew some, and then they like to read words or read numbers in word form. This one, I only watched one person solve it, and it was Ella, the girl who has the she's learning English still, but she liked finding largest and smallest digits. So or 3-digit numbers. She did very well with that. The only other thing I can think of, and it's a small thing, but sometimes the way something is laid out, like maybe having the 3 that are not solving now all together, because I think they thought bingo right away, and just maybe saying, here's the 6 problems, here's the 3 things when you finish, your exit ticket, Zern, then you're free, or something like that. Because I think this insinuates it's a bingo game right away.
Yeah, so I have to explain the choice board. That is like, because as I'm introducing this,
I would, on Monday when you talk to the kids, when you bring it out again, because you said you wanted them to carry on with it, I would start with a compliment, how well they did.
Okay.
Really saying, you guys, you showed a lot of great skills. I noticed that you worked together. I noticed that you tried different strategies. I noticed you didn't give up. Those are great things mathematicians do. I wanted to, then you could say I also noticed some other things that maybe were little problems that perhaps I forgot to tell you, or we need to remind ourselves. And then together make a little choice board expectation guide for the kids, kind of like we have math game expectations. So
Right.
I can bring that out and remind the kids.
Okay.
When we're doing this, we're making a good choice where we sit. We use a whisper voice to chat with our friends about, we think about math and talk about math. If I'm asked to get cards or place value cubes or any math tools, I do that quietly because they know where the math tools are.
Okay.
So that could just be on the expectations,
Sure.
and you don't have to worry about having them sitting out for them.
Right.
That they know where to get them. If you're asked to use a
Right.
math tool, you quietly go get that and put it
Sure.
away when you're finished.
Sure.
And then when you use this over and over again,
they understand.
you've got your expectations that are going to help kind of, you don't have to give that every
Right.
time.
Right. And if choice boards, I would like them to, because if it's challenging problems, they can talk to their friends.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Work. But they need to follow this. Yeah.
And talking about math is a really good strategy for solving problems. You know, using math language and thinking out loud and getting ideas from other people is a really good strategy for solving math.
So yes, so this is like I want to help them for a couple of days, and then they will understand.
Yep.
And we can bring this.
They're
out
practicing the skills, and they're having choice, and they love that.
Right. Yeah.
They really thought they were going to be able to go anywhere in the school too. They were highly motivated, but then they started going home. I don't know if I'm going to finish this in time, which was perfect.
So you can go anywhere. Some wants to go to the middle school, sure. Yeah. So.
Well, those are all good things to add in your repertoire. And I'm excited about this very much. So the kids love